All right. Good to be back to game week, after a week off and everything that revolved around that. And, it's good to be back to, getting ready for a big ball game this Saturday. The kids had several days off here coming into, this practice. And, we did have practice on Sunday, but it was a lighter practice. So today's first heavy contact practice we've had since last Wednesday. So an important day for preparations. I think that you've had plenty of time to take a look at Houston, and certainly very impressed with what they've done so far. They're 5-1 coming into the game. I'm sure they feel like they should be 6-0. They feel like they probably let one get away there in the opener against Texas Tech. But they've been playing very, very well the past several weeks. All three phases. They're dynamic in all three phases. You look at them defensively, and it's 10 of 11 starters back. The other starters are transferred from Iowa State. They're all juniors and seniors. I think they got one sophomore and 5 juniors and 5 seniors. So older guys, experienced guys that played together. They're playing very well. I think ranked 4th nationally or so in total defense. So very good on that side of the ball. Offensively, they put up some big numbers. They have an experienced quarterback coming back, Clayton Toon. Big offensive line. Dell has had a huge year so far catching the ball. Freshman running backs had a very solid year so far. So, very explosive offense, a lot of weapons. The quarterback's been in the system for a couple of years now, so, he does a good job with that. Special teams wise, the punt returner Jones is leading the country in punt return average. I think 17.1 yards per return, 2 for a touchdown. So a dynamic returner. Wouldn't be shocked if he's not returning kicks this week also. So, it's a complete football team. Very, very explosive, very good football team. So, got a big challenge. Homecoming at Houston. So, I'm sure they're excited about, Saturday, and we are too. So, great opportunity for our program. Kids are really excited. I expect us to have a really good week of practice.
Coach, I imagine during the bye week you guys did some self-scouting as well. What did you like about the first half of the season for your team, and what areas do you want to see the group kind of improve upon?
Well, I think you look at all three phases. You look at what you've been doing in all three phases, and I think you can sit there and we can talk in depth about all of it. I think defensively, you really like a lot of the things we did defensively. I think we're playing very fast. I think we're playing with great physicality. I think we're doing a good job turning the ball over. I think we're doing all those things very, very well. I think negatives, I think, too many big plays. We looked at a big play cut up and just identifying what caused each of them. Is a personnel breakdown? Is it somebody took advantage of a scheme? What caused it? Adjustment, whatever. So I think that, those are what you saw defensively. I think, offensively, it really, the execution piece is what you looked at where the issues are when we had issues. Because when we're executing well, we put up some big numbers. And you look at the points we've scored through 6 games, and we're playing very well. And there's been some games where we've struggled. Now, our opponents had something to do with that, but for the most part, I put it on our execution. The games that we've won the turnover battle, those are the games we've won, for the most part. So, special teams wise, I think we're doing some good things. I think, Owen and John have both had a solid beginning to the year. I think I want to see us be more productive on kickoff return. I want to see us be more productive on punt return, and that's more the other 10 guys than the returner, because I do think we have a returner that's very capable and has a chance to make some big plays. So we looked at a lot of things with all over the board, with self-eval.
Coach, when you look at the Cougars, they present a variety of problems. How do you address being successful against them? What are the things you have to do to do well against a team like Houston?
Well, which phase?
All three. All
three? Okay. Well, defensively, they're 4-2-5, 4-3. They don't pressure a lot, as far as blitzes and things like that. When they do, they're very effective because they don't pressure a lot. So they don't have to, because their front four generates a lot of pressure on the quarterback in the pass rush. So we've got to do a great job protecting Holton. We've got to be able to handle their front four, and that's going to be a huge piece to being successful Saturday. Got to be able to pick up the pressures when they come. I think the two corners are probably the best tandem we've faced so far. They're both seniors. They're experienced. They're good players. It's going to be a challenge in being able to go against those guys. I think we're going to see man-free coverage. I think we're going to see quarters coverage. So I think that they're going to take those guys and try to lock them up on our number one receivers. The safeties and the linebackers, they do a great job in the run game. They're kind of downhill players, very physical. So I think we've got to do a good job of handling them in the run game. And then, our backs are going to be one-on-one a good bit. And so, it'll come down to, who's just better in that one-on-one situation right there a lot of times in the run game. So I think when you look, at them offensively, it's, just being sound, not giving up the big play. We got to stop McCaskill, do a great job against the run. We're going to have to get some pressure on Tune. If you let him sit in there and have all day to throw, he's going to hurt you. He's got too many weapons. Dell is dynamic. We're going to have to be able to handle him. Special teams, Jones is probably the best returner we faced all year. So maybe the best returner we will face all year. So we've got to do a great job there in our coverage units, against him.
Coach, one of the knocks on Holton is that he tries to do too much. And look at the UCF game, there was a big play there. He could have got the first down through to the end zone. But how do you manage that? Because you want him to take chances. You want him to just go out there and be Holton. But then there's plays like that.
He just the thing we've encouraged him on is just play within the offense. He's hurt us. He is a good runner. When there's opportunities there to run, he needs to run. He was trying to get the ball to CJ on that play. It was a tough throw. Now, he made a great throw. It's just you don't have a whole lot of space there in the back of the end zone. CJ made a great play on the ball. There's just not a lot of space back there. But you'd like to see him take that run. That's what when I was listening to your question. People criticizing for doing too much. People criticizing for not doing enough. He needs to quit worrying about what people say, and quit worrying about the media, quit worrying about social media, quit worrying about what the fans say. He needs to focus on doing his job. That's it. Do his job and have fun. He needs to have fun and quit worrying about everything all around him. And I think he's trying to do that.
Kind of along the same lines, you mentioned how strong their corners are and that they're going to be getting some serious looks to try to take the number one and two guy presumably out of it on those plays.
Right.
How has Holton come along? It seems like he's been able to find that third and fourth guy, certainly at times this year. And how do you coach him further into, especially in terms of not giving up on a play, but not necessarily running at all, but finding that extra receiver, that late receiver coming up?
I think that's important. The good thing this year is we have more than one guy. Of course, everybody knows about CJ. Audie's having a great year. Josiah's made some big plays. Everybody knows about Snead. Shane Calhoun's doing some good things. Ryan Jones is doing some good things. The backs are heavily involved in the passing game. They got 30 catches on the year. So it's not like he just has one guy. So I think that's important. Is we're going to have to do a great job pre-snap of identifying the coverage, do a great job protecting him and giving him time, because it does take time to get to that second and third read. And then, he's just got to make great decisions with the ball. But I think that there will be opportunities there, because it's not like we sit here and we don't have options.
And Coach, kind of to piggyback on that, it seems like when you guys have gone to tight ends, you guys have had a lot of success with that. Are there designed plays to go to tight ends, or does it come back to like what you were saying with Holton, where they're down the list on the reads and it's up to him to make the decision of who gets the ball?
Now, with the guys that we have at that position, there's a big part of our offense that's designed, they're the first read. The ball is designed to go to them. So, again, it depends on how each team's playing you. We think we know how they're going to play us, so we have some things designed for that. Once you get to game day, you got to adjust. It's no different than going into battle. Once the fight starts, you got to adjust to what's happening in the fight. It's that kind of deal. So we have a lot of confidence in those guys. I think Shane and Ryan have done a great job receiving this year, and I think they do create some matchup problems. And so we'll see how much we can get them the ball on Saturday.
Coach, last week you kind of talked about the bye week coming at this point in the season, and I know you said you wish every week was game week, but now that it's passed and we're in game week again, you kind of feel that the bye week kind of came at the right time for you guys and to kind of assess yourselves are and where you are right now?
I'll let you know Saturday night. We got some guys that certainly had a chance to rest up some. Had some time to really prepare for some things we're going to see in the coming weeks. Really get a head start on Houston. But like I said, I wanted to give the guys time off so that they can get their bodies healed up. Because if you don't, you'll look up in November and you won't have anybody left. So you gotta let them recover and recuperate. But at the same time, you want to stay sharp, and that's why I say today's practice is so important because they've had from heavy contact, and contact is the difference in football and every other sport. Is we got to have a great practice today to make sure we're sharp on Saturday. And so today's practice is very, very important from a standpoint of getting, get back going.
Coach, Avery seems to have settled in at center, and then also with Trent Holler leading the program. How does that change kind of the depth there at the center position?
Well, Avery he's had a great year, and he's what you want at that position. Fernando Fry started every game for us at center last year, so obviously he's got a tremendous amount of experience there. And then Isaiah Foote, he repped at center for about 2.5 weeks during preseason camp, when had a couple of guys out. So, we've got solid guys there. It's a situation where, you hate when things happen, but, you got to move on. And so, we're excited about those guys and have faith in their ability to get the job done.
Also, in regards to playing true road games, you guys have played pretty well at Marshall, at UCF, 1-1. What is the difference in mentality going on the road and kind of having to lock in maybe that mental approach versus playing at home where it's a more comfortable environment?
Yeah, you play at home, you've got, 40,000 Pirates, screaming and yelling, and, you feel the energy from the time you start the Pirate Walk, and, it's just a great home environment. And so you don't have that on the road, obviously. I think our kids, they've gotten to where they really function well on the road schedule. I think that they feel like, they're able to get a little bit of rest on Friday because of the travel. They sleep on the plane or whatever and get to the hotel, and they're able to, just just get off their feet for a few minutes before we eat dinner and stuff like that. So I feel like they get a little bit of decompression during the day on Friday that they don't get for a home game. We talked about it before. It's kind of the circle of the wagons kind of deal. It's us against the world. When you go on the road, it's your roster is much smaller. The travel party is not very big. You don't have as many fans there, so it's very much when we went into UCF, when we went into Marshall, it's kind of us against everybody else kind of mentality.
You ended last week with a little inter-squad scrimmage, letting some of the younger guys play. Did anybody stand out to you that you hadn't really noticed? Or like you've seen?
Those are always fun events. The other players really get excited in those events. And, Ryan Stubblefield got to play a good bit, and he looked really good, but he's also traveling, and he's also, a guy that we got a lot of faith in. But, he threw the ball around very good. Some of the young receivers, Troy Lewis and Ray Rose, and some of those guys made some plays, and, Pop got a lot of work, and which that was good. He got a lot of work every day last week because he needs it. We got to keep bringing him along. He understands the adjustment that has to be made going from high school to college. It takes with freshmen. It hits them between the eyes a little bit, and then they figure out that you got to show up every day, and you got to work every day, and you got to be driven, and you got to be self-motivated, and you got to take care of your business off the field, and you got to be doing a great job with your diet, and you got to be doing a great job with your academics, and you got to take care of your body, and then and then you go wake up the next day and do the same thing again. And oh, by the way, they're all out there beating on you every day. It's the thing the comment he made to me at the end of the week is, well, I'm really sore this week. Well, yeah, people are hitting you this week because you're getting more carries than you normally do. So I think a lot of those guys did some good things. It's tough, for some of those guys because they're the show team most of the time. So they're the group running Houston's plays and running Houston's defense today, and so they don't get the time that the travel team gets during the season. They really get that time during spring practice and getting ready for the season, preseason camp kind of stuff. But I'm excited about some of those young guys. I'm glad that last year we had to play all the freshmen. Just the situation we were in. It was kind of trial by fire. Fortunately, this year we're not in that situation because all those freshmen are second-year players now, so they're protecting those first-year guys a little bit. But I'm pleased with the way everything went last week. Anything else? All right. Have a good afternoon.